Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board. Yes. How y'all feeling, man? First and foremost, get well. King got a first quarter. Couldn't even make it to halftime.
It threw me off when he texted me talking about he had COVID.
Yeah. I actually feel for KP. I'm gonna tell you why. So first and foremost, I called it when I was sick. They're gonna say we all get sick because I think I got sick. Then you had a little sniffle. Now KB is out. You next. But
I just got done.
Literally did go down.
Did you? Oh, maybe you were before me.
Yeah, I was right before you.
It was
so
you,
you know, it's
me,
dude over
you.
there.
Now he's last. No, he got sick. Remember he had that tingle?
I just had congestion. Like my nose was just like stuffy and runny.
But you didn't miss a podcast, did you?
No.
Nah, yeah, you didn't miss a podcast. But you said you had a tingle in your throat. Remember that?
Oh, yesterday?
That was a little something else.
Wait, when did I say I had a tingle? Yesterday I did have a little tingle that made me like cough during the
But you
show.
didn't say it yesterday. You said it like, because you said you had the elderberry, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So, boom, boom, boom. Last of the Mohegans. So, hopefully we done. But the interesting thing is, Saturday, was it Saturday?
Yeah,
the gender
we got
reveal?
the gender reveal.
KB kept saying, like,
I got this tickle in my throat.
But before that, like, leading up to it, he kept saying, like, it ain't gonna be that big of a thing. It's just a small gathering. No pressure to anybody to come. And I remember we were sitting in his kitchen, and me and him was talking about something. We look up, like, it's a lot of people in here. Like, I ain't know it was gonna be this many people. And then the next day, my boy woke up and said, I got COVID. So hopefully wasn't nobody around, around the crib with the COVID. But it definitely was more people than I was anticipating. But yeah, KB, get well soon.
Get well, KB.
Perfect timing though, because I think he'll be probably fresh and rejuvenated for All-Star.
Yeah.
Because it could have happened like Wednesday, the day before All-Star.
Yeah.
Then it would throw
At
everything
least I gave
off.
him a little time before.
Yeah. How y'all feeling though?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy that we got a great Super Bowl.
We had a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was not great.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed the blowout?
Yeah, I just enjoyed the ass whooping.
Oh, big Eagles fan. You just the biggest Philly guy now.
Yeah, you kind of off with the.
Did y'all enjoy the halftime show?
It was all right.
I was happy to see Kendrick.
Yeah.
But could have been better. But today's climate is just so crazy, man, because even in the group chat, I said something like, man, yeah, I'm glad he did not like us because that first part was like shaky. Our homie Mason. What did he say? He said, it's going to be good, bro. Like, anytime you say something, they think you're coming from like a Drake fan perspective, but it's like, bro, I just need people to know every time I talk about Drake, I don't need to hear the name Kendrick, and every time I talk about Kendrick, I don't need to hear the name Drake. I like both. I'm not 12 thinking I got to pick a side. Like, that's just the most annoying part about it, but it was cool. I understand what the Super Bowl stage is, but I definitely would have preferred for
He definitely had a deeper bag he could have got into.
I just wanted the core fans to get at least one. Just one. You know what I mean? But
what song?
Huh?
What song?
Something like Money Trees.
Oh.
It didn't have to be too
Don't Kill My Vibe.
And I think Money Trees and even Don't Kill My Vibe has like enough record sales where like he could have done that.
Yeah, it's enough mainstream. That's why I'm like,
He
I know it's a Super Bowl stage.
All right. He didn't play all right.
He didn't play all right. I know it's a Super Bowl stage and it's more mainstream. So I'm not expecting him to go up there. Like I said on Twitter, I ain't expecting him to go up there and play Fear.
Yeah.
Or like
Duckworth.
Yeah, or anything like that. But it's like, just give us one. Just give us one. I saw people like, why he didn't do rigor mortis? It's like, bro,
oh, what?
My man's had no background music. He did all the vocals. You think he got enough gas to run it?
Oh, yeah, that would have been crazy.
That would have been so crazy. Before we dive in, though, as usual, we've got Drop the Mic, but now it's presented by Toyota.
A new generation of Toyota drivers are here, and they want you to know one thing. You can't stop my drive. Toyota, let's go places. And today's Drop the Mic presented by Toyota is, what is the ingredients for a championship?
Ooh.
I know we talked about how Nico Harrison says that defense wins championships. When we talk about you still need some offense. You still need to star. You still need role. You need a little bit of everything. So what are the main ones?
One of the things that come to mind is those dirty work players. Like, you kind of need those dudes that's going to get in the trenches and dive on the floor for loose balls, put in that extra effort, to do the other things that might not show up in the box score. Those are some things that every championship team kind of has. You also need that true, like, a legit, like, number one, like the dude that can come out and be the best player on the court. If you don't have that, I kind of feel like it's going to be hard for you to win a championship. Like, as good as the the Houston Rockets has been this season, they will never have the best player on the court. So, like, I can't really view them as, like, a championship team. And you also just need great coaches. Like, coaches have to be able to.
Coaching is a big part.
Coaching is, like, they have to be able to make adjustments throughout the game and out of timeouts. Like, you got to just be – sometimes you just need somebody who could just draw you up an easy play out of a timeout. Because sometimes your team just might not be able to go get it. So, like, sometimes your coaches got to find a way to make it easier for you.
Yeah. I think you said a lot of good stuff. I definitely think you have to have high-quality role players, number one. We've seen teams have just one star. They can barely get into the playoffs. They can barely win the first round. So you got to have those role players. But I think one of the main things is going into role players, you got to have defined roles. Got to have defined roles. That was one of my favorite things about that Bucks team, where, like, you had Giannis, you had Middleton, you had Holiday, you had Lopez, but it felt like everybody, even Bobby Portis and those guys, it felt like everybody really knew their role. Same thing with the Denver Nuggets, who won after them.
Sure.
Jokic, Jamal Murray, Porter, Gordon, KCP, Bruce Brown off the bench. Everybody knew their role. The Lakers in the bubble with Caruso and Kuzma, AD, Bron, obviously, KCP, Rondo off the bench, Dwight Howard. Everybody knew their role. So I think you can have a team full of talent, but if everybody don't know what their roles and what's expected of them, I think that's when teams can fall a little short. And I do think there is a world where, like, we've seen that, where, like, you just talked about not having the best player, and there's times where the Mavs had the best player on the floor, but they didn't have the best player on the floor in that series in the championship against the Heat.
No.
But I feel like they had a team where all of their guys knew exactly what their role is, and they were able to take advantage of a team that was still figuring out. Because as much talent as Miami had, they still were yet to figure out who was what. And I feel like I heard when they lost, Wade went to LeBron and told him, like, you got to drive us home. Yeah. And that loss kind of made everything fall into place, and then we saw them take their next steps. So,
but I will say, in defense of the Mavs, they might not have had the best player, but when it came down to it in that fourth quarter that really mattered, Dirk played like he was the best player on the court.
Sure, but he wasn't the best player.
No, yeah. But I think sometimes
sometimes
you need those little moments where someone can just, like, legitimately.
For the most part, your championship team is going to probably have the best player or one of the best players. But same thing with the Detroit Pistons. And 03, 04, 04, 05.
Their defense was just so damn good.
You always going to have a guy you lean towards in the fourth.
Yeah.
Whether or not he is the best player.
That was probably the closest to, like, a Rockets team. They weren't nowhere near as young, but Billups, Hamilton, Prince, Wallace in the front court, they're not out talenting Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
But, you know, they had a legitimate defense. They had guys that they could lean on. Everybody knew their roles. And obviously Shaq and Kobe wasn't on the same page anywhere near. But that's the one team that always popped in my brain as far as not having, like, a top guy. That all-star level players, nobody on that team is scratching the MVP or anything like that, or a top 10 player.
Now, I was kind of like, when I was watching hoops last night, I was thinking about the same thing about, like, just being like when you have too many offensive players on the one side, or just like when it's too much and it's like you kind of lose your role than what you actually do. And even beyond that, just when it goes through 1 through 10 and it's like, usually I'm the 8th or 7th guy, but some nights I play 10 minutes, some nights I play 25 minutes. Isn't it hard to, like, get your rhythm when you constantly don't know what the role is and what minutes you're going to play?
Yeah, I would have to imagine. But again, that's like a great point and a great conversation for, like, fans that just – I be seeing fans be so tough and hard on players. But, like, I don't think fans think about that aspect. When the minutes are fluctuating, one game you're playing 14 minutes, the next game you're playing 25, then it's back down to 11. When it fluctuates like that, it is very hard to get a rhythm, and I think a rhythm is a big part of basketball next to confidence. So yeah, but that also is another one of the things that I think is important. I also always love a great steady backup point guard personally on really good teams, whether that's a Rondo for the Lakers, whether that was a Monte Morris. Was Monte Morris even on that Nuggets team that won a championship? I can't remember whether that was Monte Morris. I know OKC didn't win a championship, but I always loved Eric Maynor in the Kevin Durant era. I remember they even brought in Derek Fisher one of those years, and he was a big factor. It's something about being able to. Patty Mills is lighting that thing up. It's always something about being able to bring in.
They was calling
somebody to keep.
Gabe Vincent, Derek Fisher yesterday.
What?
They was like, I seen it though, man. Welcome back, Derek Fisher. And it's just Gabe Vincent. Who's been lighting it up?
He has been lighting it up.
Austin Reeves been lighting it up for y'all too.
I love
watching Austin Reeves.
Yeah, Austin Reeves do his thing.
I was trying to think too, is this Lakers team right now just like an upgraded Suns team?
No.
And talks about because I think they're very similar in terms of they have their top. Reeves? They have their top three. I think Bradley Beal.
Oh, you saying he's Bradley?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
This season?
Absolutely not.
Come on now.
Absolutely not. If the Suns offered y'all Bradley Beal for Austin Reeves, y'all would say no.
We would, yeah.
Right. So it's been two different players this year.
Are you saying Austin Reeves is better?
Right now, yes.
That's why I say it's an elevated version. But
LeBron, I just feel like that. The reason I say absolutely not is because it's way more than an elevated version.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's not just, to me, it's not just an elevated version. It's way different.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves feels way more comfortable on the floor. Seems like he knows where his spots are.
That third option role is a lot
all
better.
kind of feel like they complement each other. When you watch Bradley Beal, Bradley Beal has to come off the bench now.
Yeah.
That's
why I think it's a little bit different, because although all those guys in Phoenix can play make and do a lot of playmaking, they're looking for theirs. These guys are legit looking for other guys as their playmaking.
I also feel like Durant, Booker, and Beal, they all like the same spot.
Yeah.
They all it's one thing when we all scores, but at least if he's a mid-range guy, I'm a 3 guy, I'm a come off the curl guy.
That's what we talk about the roles, because now they talking about one of y'all to two of y'all to damn near all y'all gonna have to take a little bit more threes than y'all probably like to.
Right, exactly. So it's like when everybody is trying to get to that same midi spot, it's just man, it's so hard to operate. I feel like the Lakers are a little different where, Bron could get to the block, Luka can post up. They had a play fresh out of halftime where LeBron had it, Luka came off a curl, threw it up to Jackson Hayes. Beautiful basketball. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that the Suns could never do that, because obviously there's nothing to have Durant have the ball, Booker come off, and you throw it to Nick Richards. But it just feels way more fitting, and it feels way less
just clumped together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels more fitting with the Lakers. I feel like I can get that on a consistent basis.
Would you say that comes down to coaching? Wouldn't you say that maybe Budenholzer just isn't really instilling that, to where the Suns, they like to get in their bag a little bit, so they do like to score in the same area. But
I don't think any of those
Lakers,
guys are passers that Luka and LeBron is.
That is true.
It's not even close.
No, it's not.
So I think that's a big part of it. I don't know. I feel like I get what you're saying, because you have Bron and Luka, which would be Durant and Booker. But I just really feel like, as far as fit and comfortability, Bradley Beal and Austin Reeves, take talent and history out of it. Just from a comfort standpoint, they're in two different worlds right now. I think Bradley Beal would love to be in a place where he can be as comfortable as Austin Reeves. It's hard to even evaluate Bradley Beal because, number one, the money he makes, they don't want him. They wanted to trade him, waiving a no-trade clause. And then now he's coming off the bench. We're talking about a $50 million man coming off the bench. It's just – then it's also like they play in the same positions. But you don't want to start them because you want a point guard like Tyus Jones. So I don't know. They just all over them. Then they don't have the size. LeBron and Luka at least, got some size. I don't know. It's just, I'm not sure. Speaking of the Lakers, though, you was anticipating to have Mark Williams on the floor last night. We have not talked about it on the show. The trade has been rescinded. Very wild situation. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it either. How often does a trade? I feel like they never get rescinded.
Oh, we've seen trades get rescinded, but like deadline at past the deadline, like the trade deadline is over.
Yeah,
that's where it kind of gets kind of crazy and wonky. How you feeling though, man? How you feeling? It was weird to see Dalton connect on the bench yesterday in this little jumpsuit. I didn't see Cam Reddish. Anybody see Cam Reddish?
No, I didn't see Cam, but they were talking about how they were going to give Dalton connect just some time to process and everything. They said he got in late last night, so I don't got no problem with that. I totally understand that situation. I think it's actually super crazy to have like basically a business trade you away and then something kind of makes up and now you're back and you just already know the writing's on the wall, whether it be off season or something like that, unless he really shows that like he deserves to be on this team and really fits along Luka.
That
like,
might hurt him too. He might just play
play
so damn good that
I think he is
the
the type of player like his type of mold would fit next to a Luka, but obviously we're trying to get and fill that void where having a big man. But regardless, though, I keep saying that like it's a positive and a negative. A negative because, like you said, it's right before the trade deadline, so now we really can't make no move unless it's just picking somebody up. Who I did see Alex Len.
No, he signed with the Pacers.
He ended up signing with the Pacers. I seen something saying that like he kind of rescinded on it. Was thinking about it, but anyways,
let me go double check. He rescinded too, huh?
They said that he had interest with the Lakers after the Mark Williams stuff fell off. But maybe that, you know how they be with posts nowadays every time. But regardless, like, it's bad because it's a trade deadline, but positive because we get that pick back, and eventually that would have probably turned up into a bigger injury.
Alex Len makes stunning Pacers reversal amid Laker rumors. Lakers seem poised to solve their immediate long-term center requirements by acquiring Mark Williams. Trade got rescinded. Alex Len, who was traded from Sacramento to Washington and later waived, has now become a leading free agent target after initial reports hinted at a near-complete deal with Indiana Pacers that ultimately fell apart. Initially expected to join the Pacers, that plan appears to have fallen through, leaving Len open for signing. Yeah, you're absolutely right, which is why yesterday I told y'all the Pacers inked a former deal with Duke standout Jahlil Okafor for a 10-day. That is why, because the Alex Len deal fell apart. Wow.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's
so whoever
almost
told you that was right. I missed that. So yeah, he'll probably be a Laker.
Yeah, he will.
What's taking so long?
It's probably him him. Yeah, I don't know what's taking him so long. That should have been an immediate thing once he kind of stopped doing.
If I'm a center like him, I definitely got to look at this as like a life-changing opportunity. Like you literally get to go play with LeBron.
How old is Alex Len?
Alex Len is probably about
26, 27.
What? Alex Len been in the league before you was watching basketball.
No, he has. I remember when Alex Len first came in.
What year then? You can if you think he's 26. Alex Len came in.
He might be like 29, 30.
He's 31. That's a 5-year gap from what you initially said, by the way.
Hey man, I'm getting old.
5th overall pick, man. Yeah, though, what you just said, Darrick, life-changing opportunity. That's why if it hurts so bad with the Mark Williams thing, and again, there's a lot of different perspectives I have. I do think that this potentially could be a blessing in disguise for the Lakers later down the road, just because you get those picks back. And when the offseason comes, you'll have a full time to really address the position and the need. Deadline makes things kind of happen a little bit more faster. You're scrambling a little bit. You'll have a little bit more time to think about it. I just feel for Mark Williams because I just think about his career. When you have a trade like this be rescinded and the physical that you couldn't pass isn't one thing. Usually they'll look at somebody. Remember like Cam Whitmore. They were saying something with Cam Whitmore's knee scared off a lot of teams that made him fall in the draft. They said Mark Williams had multiple things. He's already been dealing with a back. He's had a consistent ankle sprain injury he's been dealing with for the first couple of years of his career. He had a knee thing going on earlier this year. It didn't seem like too big of a deal. But, like, any of those combinations could be dangerous. A foot in the back for a big, a knee in the back, a back and a foot. Like,
yeah, but for the Lakers thing, like, I have to maximize the most value out of this 2031 pick. Because, like, it's valuable on the market, obviously, because teams do want it. But, like, I can't just give it away for somebody who I don't think is going to be, like, the center that's going to be on the court for me in the foreseeable future with Luka Doncic. If I have to look at you and say there's question marks here and there, I have to make sure that I gotta do what's best for me as an
Absolutely.
organization. And it came out that the what is it called?
Hornets?
The Hornets are trying to like fight back against that.
That's the weird thing about it.
And like, what if I don't know what's
That's
the route to
weird
doing
thing.
that.
And I mean, somebody could always be like not telling the whole truth here, but Rob Pelinka was saying that like the Hornets came to him with the deal versus them saying that like the Lakers aggressively pursued
Yeah, they
him.
had that in the post when he had to come back. They made the little Twitter.
That's
social
what
media
makes it a
post.
little fishy that
And
you're
it
trying
was
to
like, we're welcoming Mark Williams back. You know, we always loved him. The Lakers just aggressively pursued him. And then, yeah, like you said, the conflicting report of Rob Pelinka said, no, they brought him to us. I don't know who to believe, obviously, is you believe in one voice over another. But they did say the Lakers was also trying to get Jalen Duren, which made it feel like the Lakers were shopping for a center.
Yes. It was very evident that they were shopping for a center.
So that's the one. Again, I'm not saying Rob Pelinka is lying or anything, but when you've already been rumored to have been shopping for not only is it a young center, but they're kind of similar. You had a thing in mind where you wanted a young, athletic big who could pair with Luka.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it seem like the Lakers were scanning
it could
the
also
league.
be like they heard, obviously, the Lakers, the word was out that the Lakers need a center. It's like, they looking at Duren?
Yeah.
Let's send him Mark Williams, see what they do.
Very true. Let's send him Mark Williams because we know his physical's messed up.
And they desperate enough to probably just take the deal.
Because once they got that deal, they probably seen that pick and was like, But then they seen it was only Dalton connecting to like Austin Reeves or something like that. And they was like, all right, we'll be willing to part ways with Dalton as long as we keep Reeves. And then we end up getting our center that we actually like. It just turns out his physicals wasn't right. And
I wonder what's
oh,
really
man,
in
we
the
were so
physical.
close to having a center.
Yeah. But like Darrick said, you don't want to have done that deal expecting him to be Luka's running mate at the big position for the foreseeable future, and he was going to be missing 40 games a year.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been way worse because once you give up this 2031, it's going to be extremely hard to pivot because of the stipend rule. So y'all already you don't have 25.
They said we
no
don't have a pick
27.
till 35.
There's
2035.
Y'all don't have a pick till 2035?
If we trade away this 31?
Right, because of the stipend. Well, no, wouldn't you be able to trade? Yeah. Well, wouldn't you be able to trade all the odds? What happens to 33? Because you have 26, 28, 30, 32.
31.
You can't trade for back-to-back years.
I seen something that said we don't have a pick. Regardless, it's not till like 33,
Yes, it's way
32,
down the line. It's
30,
way down
maybe
the line.
30 and 5, like I said.
That's why I was hoping that the Lakers, I wasn't mad at the Mark Williams deal, but I wanted to see the Lakers get creative like Phoenix where you flip that 2031 for multiple picks that fill the gap so that you can unlock your picks again and you don't have to worry about the stipend rule. If I trade this 2031 for 4 first-round picks, they may not be as valuable, but they fit in those odd slots. So now I'm not – you get what I'm saying? The stipend rule is you can't trade back-to-back.
I think that was one of the best things that Phoenix did.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was one of the reasons why they were able to get off Nurkic with that first-round pick and sending it off. And first-round picks, they seem a little scary when you send them off now. But that Phoenix one, they weren't really caring about that damn pick at all.
Yeah, and a lot of times these picks be like heavily protected.
Yeah.
So like it's rare you see one going away that's like legitimately unprotected.
Before we move off of the Lakers, we're here to grade deadline debuts. So we might as well just go right into Luka. How would you grade his debut? And more so than grading it, how did you feel as a Laker fan finally seeing 77 in the purple and gold? Or the yellow and gold, I guess.
I would give it straight up A. I think the A+ could have been if he had like some crazy 30-point game or some type of like that. But regardless, I felt like the energy was there in the arena. I felt like everybody embraced him. We obviously seen all the Lakers shirts on the chairs and stuff like that. The LeBron soundbite where he's telling him to fit in, or he's telling him to fit out, don't fit in.
Yeah.
So like just all that type of stuff is like I think the first debut you would want, embracing a new superstar like Luka. And immediately, I think one of the first or second buckets we got was the lob to Jackson Hayes from Luka. And there were just a lot of the good things to like. And I think the first thing I kind of really noticed was just the ball movement. Like the ball was consistently flowing. Even if it sticks in the hands of a LeBron or Luka, I just feel like something good is still going to happen. Even with Austin Reeves, I just feel like our offense could be a top five offense in the league. Just how we got small ball spacing and then the ability to just have multiple people make the right play.
For everybody at home, the official debut The Lakers won 132-113. Luka played 24 minutes, shot 5 of 14 for 35% from the field, 1 of 7 from 3 for 14%, and overall had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover. Again, 24 minutes.
He was supposed to play 30, but it was a blowout.
Yep.
So it makes sense. I wouldn't have played him either those last 6 minutes. It really didn't make sense.
How was his debut for you?
I would give it like a solid B+. I thought it was good. I thought he did a good job coming out and just the playmaking aspect was there. You could definitely tell he's a little rusty when you're talking about scoring. He definitely had the same, like, he really wasn't looking to self-create as often as we used to him doing. Like, he really wasn't getting in his bag like we know Luka can do. I think he was still trying to figure out how to fit in with the team perfectly. So I think he's going to get back into that. I thought it was a nice debut, especially since he hasn't played basketball since Christmas.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with both of y'all. Probably be somewhere like an A for me. He hasn't played in a minute, on a minutes restriction, fresh new team. Didn't shoot the ball well, but he's a little rusty. That's fine. But the look of it felt good. The team seemed energized. Jackson Hayes looks like a different player with these guys on the floor. So I've been saying, like, man, I wish they had, it's going to be hard having Jackson Center as your starting center. And it will. It will be hard because in the Western Conference, you got Jokic, Sengun, Sabonis, Chet, and Hardenstein. I feel like I'm even Jaren Jackson, Zach
You can go
Edey.
down damn near the whole West.
Yeah,
it's
whole
gonna
West.
be big.
Wemby. There's going to be some real centers that y'all going to have to face in the playoffs that are going to give some issues. Even last night, Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen had some easy looks at the rim because there was nobody really there. So hopefully y'all do get to Alex Len, but Jackson Hayes is going to be the best version that we've seen him in his career with these three guys. Austin Reeves I'm including as well because I think Austin Reeves, though he's not the passer and playmaker of Luka and LeBron, he's really, really good when you take away them out of the picture because obviously they're all-time great
I'm interested
passers.
to see how JJ eventually staggers the minutes.
Yes. He did a little bit last night.
He did. I think it was like after maybe 8 minutes, Luka and LeBron checked out, and then Austin Reeves kind of running the show. I really hope to see Austin running a lot of the second unit and a lot of units where maybe one of them's not out there or second unit's not, or two of them are not out there, just because I feel like it's going to preserve them longer. And that's one of the big things that I liked from last game now, and you can kind of see it, is just like he doesn't have to expend so much energy.
Yeah.
And with the Dallas, that was one of my things, and it's just like he's so good at it, but his usage rate is like out the charts. Like
With the Dallas.
with the Dallas Mavericks, his usage rate is just so crazy. It's like I understand why the time he feels banged up by the time he gets to the playoffs in his game 82. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like constantly you're seeing the best defender for 40 plus minutes and like all that type of stuff. So now he's gonna have a lot of people to alleviate that pressure.
Grading our next debut, the other side of the trade. A couple days ago, Anthony Davis finally made his Mavericks debut. The Mavericks won an 11-point win over over the Rockets, and Anthony Davis walked away with 26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks. He made 2 threes, 10 of 18 for 55%. I mean, just an absolute dominant performance.
It felt like I was watching like a version of Pelicans Anthony Davis. Like it looked like he was being that damn dominant on the court. It's just unfortunate he had to strain his abductor to where now he's gonna be out for at least a month. Like that's such a crazy thing to happen, to get traded to a team whose fan base is very heartbroken. Through the first 3 quarters, you're giving them an amazing performance. They feeling rejuvenated, and then boom, he's hurt for a month, and it's just like, damn, we just got to go back to like being disappointed.
Bro, nobody's more angrier than Nico Harrison because all the attention was off him. Matter of fact, he was getting some love by the way
now,
Anthony Davis was playing in that half.
If Anthony Davis didn't get hurt, the conversation on Nico was never going to go away because Luka debut hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So it was off of him for a split second. Yeah, I agree. It's a tough situation. Just from a performance standpoint, though, I do want to actually grade the performance. It was really dominant. It looked like an A+.
Yeah.
It looked like an A+. Just taking away all of the bullshit that's attached to
I'm gonna give it an A+.
From a performance point, it's an A+.
He was dominant. The Rockets, who have been a really good team all year, was locked up. He was, again, making passes, blocking shots, shooting threes. Like you said, almost kind of Pelicans-esque. He gave them that moment.
I'm here.
Mhm.
He had Şengün in jail too.
Yeah.
Şengün was locked up, bro.
He was definitely motivated. And I think that was something that the Mavs fans were going to need to see. They're not going to get over the Luka trade at all, especially with the owner coming out and having these comments. And I feel like every 2 days the Mavericks are coming out to say something to justify the trade and digging themselves into a further hole. But it was an epic performance. Now, he later on gets hurt. He's going to be out for a month. Every team is running to this All-Star weekend. They want this All-Star weekend to come faster than we do because they just need a break to just pause and reset. But then last night, Daniel Gafford got hurt. So now I think Dwight Powell's out with a hip. Lively is out for the year or so, or at least to the playoffs. Anthony Davis is now going to be missing a month. And you have Gafford out with his knee strain. So they're not going to have a center. They lost a tough one to Sacramento last night. And now their playoff hopes is going to be tested.
Slowly dwindling.
It is going to be tested. And I cannot imagine trading Luka, getting Anthony Davis, having that performance. Then he gets hurt, Lively is hurt, Gafford is hurt, and they miss the play. Can you imagine this team missing the playoffs?
It doesn't feel right just because Luka has consistently had them in the playoffs. Ever since his rookie season, he hasn't missed the playoffs.
You can't make this up.
He hasn't missed the playoffs.
And they've had
since
moments
he was rookie
without, obviously before they traded Luka, like where they looked all right, like where they could survive and make the playoffs. But at least they had one of the bigs there.
Yeah.
But now you kind of going in small ball. It's probably going to be like P.J. Washington running some.
Who was out
Najee
last night.
Yeah.
He was out with ankle injury. And from what I've seen, they've had Omax running the 5. Like they're very, very small. And again, the same point I made with the Lakers. If you don't have a big right now in the Western Conference, you go into the playoffs or you trying to make this playoff push and you have to go against the Sabonises, the Wemby's, the Senguns, the Jokic's. It's gonna be really tough. It is going to be extremely tough.
I want to see what their schedule is coming up.
And they are dropping in the standings now. And it's so tight at the bottom of that West, man. It's so tight. What it's looking like?
They play the Warriors tomorrow. That's a team where they can kind of get away with the small ball.
We do?
Yeah. Then they play the Heat. Bam and Khalil Ware, that could definitely give them some problems. The Pelicans. Then they play the Warriors again. Then this is where they go against the Lakers. Oh, yeah, that February 25th game. That's the primetime game everybody waiting to see.
Mm-hmm.
The Hornets, the Bucks, the Kings, the Bucks again.
So yeah, they got their work cut out for them. They'll have to try to maintain.
They don't have to deal with the Jokic.
You got to be talking about like after All-Star break. We play the Jazz on. We don't play the Warriors tomorrow. We play the Jazz in like 2 days.
He's talking about the Mavericks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know why I was thinking something about the Lakers and the big man. Everybody missing the big man.
No, we're talking about the Mavericks.
I know.
Lost all their big man.
I'm caught up now.
I don't know what this guy over there doing. You know that's gonna go on one of them compilations. But yeah, just very unfortunate situation, man. I felt like the Anthony Davis performance again wasn't going to take the entire trade away, but it would have
gave the fans some hope.
And
now maybe it still does. Maybe they can still look at that and say when he is playing on the basketball,
that ain't giving them no hope.
They feel like damn,
that's still not giving them no hope.
It's just a bad.
You cannot have that performance and then he's out for a month and say we have hope. No fan is buying that.
You can also, I guess they could look at it as when he's playing. Look at what he does. So we just got to wait this month.
But he's not playing for a month.
But you traded Luka, so it is hard to get over that.
It's like a double whammy. It's actually it's more than that, honestly. Especially if they miss the playoffs.
Yeah. Do they have their pick this year?
That's a good question. I'm sure it's protected. So if it fell to a low point, they probably would have it. You can always go check.
That is true.
The next debut we got a Gray. He actually has had a few games now, so I don't know how y'all going to contextualize this. But De'Aaron Fox with the Spurs. How have y'all been feeling?
I've been liking it.
The look with De'Aaron Fox over the first game he had 24, then 22. The third game he had 9 against Orlando, and then last night against the Wizards he had 30.
That was his best game so far.
Yes, the Wizards definitely the best game.
Yeah, I thought last night we really saw him and Wemby like click. Like it seemed like it happened kind of fast. So always thought that they transition wouldn't be as rough just because it's a big and a point guard. And Wemby essentially isn't a big that like demands like a Joel Embiid or a Jokic type touches.
Right.
To where like he gonna get the ball and he gotta like really bang and like get it going. No, I think Wemby, as of right now, needs someone who could create for him. I think eventually in the future when Wemby starts to get better and he gets develop his game a little bit more, he can self-create. But right now, I think De'Aaron Fox has been the perfect fit for him when you talk about being able to create for others. Him and Chris Paul on the court together is giving him so many different ways to have someone make plays for him. So I just think it's been such a good transition so far.
Mm-hmm. They had like a one play where Chris Paul brings it up and De'Aaron Fox is kind of like on the right wing in the corner or whatever. And Chris Paul will toss the ball to Wemby, who's on the elbow. And from there, they'll get into like a pick and roll action. And it was kind of tearing the Wizards up. Like, they really didn't know what to do. And it just caused a lot of mismatches. And then also that it has that space on that baseline for De'Aaron Fox to just take off. And I just like how they incorporate him already. It's not just a simple pick and roll up top and let's just work like that. It's just getting them into their spots easier. And I think it's going to work really well for them. A lot of their games, I think all 4 games have been relatively close. The Wizards, they kind of pulled out, but like De'Aaron Fox has been helping them down the stretch.
No, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. It gives them a legitimate shot creator.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was the one thing that they were lacking on this roster. A lot of great complementary pieces, a really good team that's coming together, but just somebody that could utilize the space and the gravity that Victor Wembanyama creates. At this age, it's too much to put on Chris Paul's plate to be like, hey, be our go-to guy as far as creation. But now you have De'Aaron Fox, and I think he's done a good job. I think it's a little bit of an adjustment playing with a different big like Wemby, also kind of playing combo guard because he's still in the lineup with Chris Paul.
Last night, though, I thought he did a great job of just like there was times where he would just put his head down and just get straight to the rim, whether he was drawing contact, getting to the free throw line, or just finishing. I thought he did a good job of being a lot more aggressive.
That's the version of De'Aaron Fox I think that they're going to need because, again, you want to be able to utilize the threat of Wemby on that perimeter, and it leaves that paint open. And so you have guys like him, Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson now that can attack that paint when teams are worried about where Victor Wembanyama is. So
Vic had a point in that first quarter where he hit 3 threes back-to-back, little 9-0 run.
Yes. That's
where, like that's something you got to guard.
That's where things get so scary. I just think about that, and obviously they've had their struggles before the De'Aaron Fox trade. Obviously they lost to the Hornets during this little stretch of De'Aaron Fox being there. But I just think about the future. And when Wemby does stuff like that, and now you understand that De'Aaron Fox is on a team, and when he's making 3 threes in a row, and you have to guard that, you have to acknowledge that. What do you do about this speed demon of De'Aaron Fox who can just go right around you at any point? And when they both is clicking, like last night, even though it's against the Wizards, like in a play-in game or in a potential playoff series where they both have 15 at the half or something like that, how are you guarding that? And then as the years go on, Stephon Castle is only going to get better. He's had some crazy performances over the last couple of weeks. We know what Devin Vassell can do. They just got a real good thing developing over there, and they still have a lot of the young assets and some draft capitals that in the offseason.
You might get a random game where Champagne hit 5 threes.
I forget,
it was good to see him and his brother.
I forget if they
last night
what game this was, but they were talking on the broadcast, and they were saying that maybe 5 years down the road, this could be the bigger trade rather than the Luka going to the Lakers. It was De'Aaron Fox going to the Wemby and kind of having this duo. And I thought it was kind of interesting.
De'Aaron Fox going to the Wemby. You got some funny.
De'Aaron Fox going to the Spurs with Wemby and having this type of duo. But I thought it was kind of interesting because just like obviously we know what peak Wemby, what that could look like, and then obviously De'Aaron Fox, he's a damn good point guard. Like he's a star in this league. So if they can really mesh, they could 5 years down the road be looking like one of the best teams in the Western Conference.
I would definitely put my money on them to be that way. Just with the assets that they have, the picks and the team that they've already formulated around Vic, adding Fox, great coaching staff, great organization,
and people will want to come play with Vic and play for Popovich. So you got both of those things right in your lap. People will be like very intrigued to come play with them. That's exactly why De'Aaron Fox wanted to go there.
Is it?
I think so. I think he saw that.
Ate at home.
He from San Antonio.
From Texas.
Oh, but not okay. Oh yeah, true. I didn't even know that.
I'm not saying Wemby has nothing to do with it, but I think a large part of it was home. And then, yeah, you have to look at the trajectory of the Spurs.
Yeah.
Apparently, he texted Stephon Castle, saying he wanted to play with him or be on the same team.
He said his wife didn't want him to move to Texas.
Yeah. Kings fans been saying all of that shit is cap. Like, he trying to soften the blow.
They was talking about they was talking about this was a different game, but regardless, they're talking about like people come to the game home and away. I think they said a lot of people that was playing. Who was it? They were at Milwaukee, and they said a lot of people at home. It was AirPods. He was playing at home, and then somebody else was too. They said that you only get 2 tickets for like away games.
But he had, what, 96 people?
He said he had like 63 tickets he had to buy. He's like, he had to bring out that credit card.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know how many people I'll bring to my game. It'd probably have to be like, I probably need like 10, 12 tickets. Now I got to bring the homies, though.
All right.
I got to. Shit, it might be like 20 plus.
Nah, because you got to think about this. You got a family, you got your homies, and then you have. If you make it to the NBA, that means you had a lot of teammates. You play high school basketball, you play AAU basketball, you play college basketball. Well, he ain't go to college in Milwaukee, but still, it's like coaches and teachers.
I'm with
faculty.
the comment that he's like, some people just gonna have to stay at the crib and watch it on
for sure,
TV.
for sure.
Not everybody
for
will
sure.
get an invite.
Yeah, who came to the high school games? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The other side of the De'Aaron Fox trade, Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine has played 4 games with the Sacramento Kings. They lost the first 2, and as of last night, they're now in a little 2-game winning streak. They beat the Pelicans, and then again last night they had the 1-point overtime win over the Dallas Mavericks, in which Debo split the double with the game winner. They are also saying that Debo, before we get into Zach, Debo has the most clutch buckets in the last decade. Field goals made in the final 5 minutes of a game within 5 points. He leads the entire NBA with 465 clutch buckets. The next guy in line is LeBron at 367. He almost has 100 lead of made field goals.
That's Mr. Fourth Quarter right there, man. When that game is on the line, or he could feel like the game is in a tough spot and he needs to elevate his game, that's what he's gonna do.
I just think his game is so well polished to where like his footwork is so good in that mid range area that like it's so easy for him to get like a nice little shot, or he's very good at getting you off balance and like hitting you with that pump fake because you know that mid range shot so damn deadly. Now you jumping into him, and now he at the free throw line. He also can get to the basket. So, like, offensively, when you talk about being that 4 dude who don't take a lot of threes, he could definitely still give you a lot of buckets.
Mm-hmm. He's been taking the threes, though.
He has.
What do you go, like 3 for 3, 4 for 4 from deep in the last one?
And before that, I think since Christie has got there, his threes have been up a bunch. Last night, DeMar DeRozan attempted 6 threes, 4 of 6. Night before that, 0 of 3, then 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 1 of 1. He's been getting his threes up, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's been getting his threes up. Let's see how many he's averaging on a year. He's averaging 2.8. Yep, 2.8, which is the same as last year.
He got to be shooting it better though, right?
Shooting almost identical, 33 and 33.
Mr. Consistent, huh?
Mr. Consistent. But Zach LaVine, how have y'all been liking the fit with Zach? They also added Jonas Valanciunas, Jake LaRavia. Jake LaRavia had a really good performance against New Orleans, coming off the bench. I really like that pickup.
He didn't really play that much last night, which is fine. But Zach LaVine, I like the fit. I always thought that he would never be somebody who would come in there and be like a bad fit. I think offensively he's been giving him some moments. I think he's still getting his feet wet. He's still getting his rhythm. But I think overall wise, I think he's gonna come in and be a nice complementary fit. Defensively though, this team worries me. They do seem like a team that can, on a nightly basis, give up a lot of points. And I sometimes could see if their offense is struggling, that it will be hard for them to stay in games. Because, like, you needed a 42-point performance last night to beat a very beat-up Mavericks team.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just really don't like this fit. I mean, like, obviously, Zach LaVine is a fine basketball player. He can fit a lot of places. But it's just, I think it's still a little repetitive with having he could take that too far. It's still a little repetitive with having him and DeMar DeRozan.
I think a lot of places it's insane work.
It feels more so like a consolation prize for getting Zach LaVine for having to trade off De'Aaron Fox. And, like, they did the right thing. Personally, I just don't really like the fit.
I feel you. I mean, as a Zach LaVine fan, I keep saying that I would have loved to see him on a team that was competing for a little bit more, like the Nuggets or whatever. But I just keep cutting them some slack in Sacramento because, again, like I just don't know what else they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox just kind of put them in a position. I know I sound like a broken record, but I mean, yeah, what are you supposed to do?
That's why I said, like, they did the right thing by bringing in something when you kind of lose and, like, or lose a player. And like I said, he's really, really good at basketball. Like, he can really score the ball. He's going to have games where he has a quiet 20, loud 30 or whatever. But, like, a lot of times in that fourth quarter, we know who that ball is going to now. And it's like he hasn't really gotten a chance, I feel like, over the years to show that, kind of shadowing DeMar.
So he's just going to shadow DeMar for the –
I don't think he's going to shadow DeMar. I think DeMar's going to do DeMar. Yeah. And I think Zach going to have his moments where he do him. Zach just – right now, the three-point shot ain't falling, which is what the big bonus he's supposed to give them. I also saw a clip of Malik Monk joking with him. They're like, "How you been like Zach?" He said he ain't making no threes for. He make threes everywhere else, but now he got here, he forgot how to shoot. But once the threes start falling, I think they'll be able to click. I feel you. There's a ceiling on the Sacramento Kings, right? We don't feel like they're headed into a direction that you would probably assume after trading your star because. This team ain't going nowhere. But I think the business part and the fan base, they deserve to have something that's going to have some way of competing. And there's always like next year where you play the rest of this year out and you get a real time in the offseason and going into next year to really figure out your plan and what you want to do because you were kind of, I don't want to say blindsided, but you weren't given enough time to figure this out with De'Aaron's request. So you had to kind of scramble. Next year, I think Zach will be on the last year of his deal. You have a clear point of view of what you want to do, and you'll be able to commit to that. So,
does Zach get moved again next year?
Huh?
Does Zach get moved again next year?
If it's lucrative for the Sacramento Kings, yeah.
So they're just like losing them for nothing?
Yeah.
They might as well even just be progressive and do it in the offseason.
I'm not ruling that out.
Yeah.
I'm not ruling that at all, especially because it's not like it ain't like they went and got Zach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he was a part of the deal. The Bulls got back the pick that they gave up to get DeMar or to trade DeMar. So it's like, it ain't like they had to do too much to get Zach. Kind of felt like a bunch of stuff was thrown into the trade. So I could see that. It just would really depend on what the market is for Zach going into the offseason.
I did like the double bigs, though. They had Sabonis and Valanciunas playing together. And just a kind of weird thing I like about that, too, is Valanciunas comes in the game off the bench, so, like, he can eat up those fouls. Yeah. He fouled out, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, he don't have that starting 40, 30, or 30-plus minutes no more. So if you're going to foul out in 20 minutes, so be it. Just be aggressive the whole game.
But as of today, they have won 2 in a row. So right now, the Sacramento Kings are in the 9th spot. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They're only half a game behind the Mavericks. And they're 2.5 games behind the Timberwolves and the Clippers. So, I mean, hey, if they were able to get up to 6, do they trade Zach LaVine in the offseason? What was his ceiling? If the Kings get up to 6,
I think that was
7,
their ceiling with De'Aaron Fox.
Right. So if the Kings start to string along some games, can you look up their upcoming games?
Yeah.
Because again, if their ceiling wasn't out of this world with De'Aaron Fox, in my opinion. So if they're able to get 7 or 6,
my question is, how do you feel that way? Still knowing just like the landscape of the NBA. So like Dallas, we probably gonna think gonna drop a little bit because just by default. Clippers, they could stay right there, but I feel like they haven't been the same way they've been, I guess, the first half of the season. Like they've had times where they haven't looked the best. So
and I'm not saying that I'm putting my money on the Kings to do this. I'm just looking at the standings and realizing
they got some sweet games.
They're not too far because the West is so
they got
close
some
together.
Very sweet games.
What have Minnesota? Minnesota, they 7-3 in the last 10, but all season long Minnesota has been up and down. They'll go a 7-3 stretch, and then they'll have a 3-7 stretch. They'll have a 3-game winning streak, and then they'll have a 3-game losing streak. So they kind of been wishy-washy just a little bit. Sacramento has been the same way, but they got new energy in there, new rejuvenation. they have to figure out, like Devin, like Darrick said, they got to get some stops. You know what I'm saying? Keon Ellis got to continue to be that guy for them. But I'm just saying.
I mean, their schedule coming up is sweet. So they got the Pelicans twice, tomorrow and then Thursday.
They did beat the Pelicans by 1.
But then they got the Warriors, which is a tough game.
I mean, by 5.
And then they got the Hornets, and then they have the Jazz.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
They have, if they can go 4-1 in that stretch, let's say they just lose to the Warriors, that's a good stretch for them. They got to go out and get those, beating the Pelicans.
They do,
twice.
But they do have to beat the Warriors too, because the Warriors are right behind them. The
so
Warriors on the
that's one of those must wins too. And the Warriors have been playing good with Jimmy. I like the Jimmy addition for the Warriors, like a lot. I think he gives them such a different look.
Go ahead, go right into Jimmy.
He gives them so much of a different look than what they're accustomed to getting. Like watching him get to his mid-range pull-ups and like just allowing the offense that if it's not a 3, then what are we gonna like? He gives them a whole different look than just shooting threes. When the Warriors' shots stopped falling at the beginning of the season, when they did start out crazy, we was like, dang, where the offense coming from? It's just Steph. It's just Steph.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I pulled up strength of schedule going forward. So the Kings are 11th. They have 29 games remaining. They play the Cavs twice, the Nuggets twice, the Thunder once, the Celtics once, the Knicks, Grizzlies once as well. And then, but on the flip side, they do play the Hornets twice, the Pelicans twice, the Wizards, Jazz, the Bulls. They got the Blazers up here as an easy game. I'm not considering the Blazers easy anymore. The Blazers will definitely come out and bust your ass if you don't wake up for them. But that is in comparison to some of their counterparts, where Dallas, though they are banged up, they got Brooklyn twice. They got I wonder how they judging this. Because Dallas got the Grizzlies twice, the Lakers twice, the Clippers twice, the Knicks, Pacers, and the Hornets. Golden State is at 19th strength of schedule remaining, and they play the Blazers twice, the Raptors, Hornets twice, 76ers, Brooklyn, Pelicans. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're going off of the record.
Yeah.
But like the Golden State Warriors easy games, Blazers has been good. Philly on any given night can be Philly. You know what I'm saying? Record-wise,
they big 3.
Exactly. So I guess everybody's kind of in the same boat, man. They all got a handful of games where it's some favorable opponents, and they also got a handful of games where it's like, ooh, that's going to be a little tough matchup for you. But the Timberwolves are at 24th as far as the teams in that mix, which is the easiest in comparison to the Western Conference that's in that bottom half play-in spot. But, again, even with that, I'm reading they play the Jazz 3 times, but the Minnesota Timberwolves also still have to play the Thunder 3 times.
Damn.
They still have to play the Nuggets twice. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. They play Brooklyn twice. They play the Pelicans twice. I see why they are down here with the easier schedule. But, yeah, to have to play the Thunder and the Nuggets twice, you still got to play the Rockets, Grizzlies, Lakers. I don't know. It's going to be a dogfight, man. It's going to be a dogfight. But Jimmy Butler, my fault.
Oh, no, I just think I think Steph Curry said it perfectly. He was like, Jimmy just dominates the game in a different way than what I do. And I think that's something that they really needed, just to add some variety to the offense. You're talking about a guy that's going to get downhill, get to the basket. He's getting to the free throw line, which is something the Warriors don't do. So he just gives them the ability to put up points sometimes where it just might not look the prettiest, where it's not Steph getting you a nice 28-foot 3 and everybody's going crazy, where now Jimmy can still, when the offense and the shots not falling, still create in a way that's different than what they are accustomed to. And I think defensively he's locked in. He's putting in a lot of effort on that side. So I think the combination of him and Draymond on the defensive side of the court, it could be very intense on a lot of nights. They can really lock in, and their defense can win them some games some nights.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that I look at with the Warriors, they rank 30th in free throw percentage at 72. They rank 24th in free throw attempts per game at 20.8. And they rank 29th in free throws made per game at 15.1. And already in Jimmy's 2 games, he shot in double-digit free throws. First game against the Bulls, he attempted 13. And then the last game he played against the Bucks last night, he shot 15. So already he's helping out in that department, which, again, because there's been historically so much shooting with the Warriors, and even this year with Buddy Hield, Steph Curry, all of these guys that are trying to shoot the ball so much, you need somebody that can give you a little bit of a different look, which Jimmy is going to backdoor, he's going to cut, he's going to screen well. When he has the ball, he's going to try to attack. And the fact that seems like he's emphasizing that. Seems like that's something that's been communicated. Hey, we need paint touches, we need free throw attempts, and we need some pressure on the rim. And it feels like he's made it an emphasis to do that in these first 2 games to set that tone. I'm liking the trade a lot better than I expected. I liked the trade when it first happened. I'm liking it even more.
I would give it an A.
Yeah, definitely.
I think y'all hit a lot of really good points. I think my main thing is over the years when Steph is on the bench, they could be real susceptible to giving up a lead or just turning the game backwards and not doing what you want to do. When Steph checked out last game against Milwaukee and they were kind of leaning towards Jimmy, that's when he just kept going to the line and he just kept driving and driving. And I feel like they needed somebody to kind of just be able to put points up on the board when Steph's not there. And he did that perfectly, honestly, along top of good defense.
Because especially when those other shooters, like if Buddy Hield being one of those bad nights where he's not shooting the ball, now you have someone you can legitimately rely on who can go out there and get you 30. Mm-hmm. Like Jimmy can legitimately go out there and get you 30 next to Steph while also letting Steph get his 30+. So if you have that two-headed monster where they can both go out and combine for 60 to 70 points, I just think it opens up so much for you.
Yeah, man. I really, really like this trade. I obviously wish that Golden State themselves could get some size up front, right? Playing with Quentin Post and Kevon Looney and Trace Jackson Davis. But ultimately, yeah. And I think I said it on Saturday. I looked up and I forgot that Jonathan Kuminga is on his team. So he get reevaluated in 10 days, they said. When he comes back, that's another body, another athletic guy.
Playing with this lineup.
Yeah, some more versatility on the perimeter as far as defensively. They got a lot going on. Who did they play yesterday?
The Bucks.
Draymond Green.
No Giannis.
Draymond Green, I think, turned the ball over or something. He blocked Gary Trent Jr.'s 3-point shot from the corner. And I was like, yeah, I'm a like the lineup. They got Kuminga, Jimmy, and Draymond. Those two and their leadership and what they can do defensively should be able to kind of get the gears turning and that motor going for Kuminga on the defensive side. Because if you have that much length, size, and athleticism flying around the court on a lineup where those 3 guys are in it, that's going to be that potentially could be a really good defensive trio that's just covering all type of ground, just switching. You got over there, he's guarding 2 while he over there in the paint helping.
I think it would be a great thing for coming at a showcase. Then I mean, this is one of his biggest years of his career. He's had a good year. I think offensively he's had a really good year. Just would hope to see the Warriors value it the way that he values it. I wonder how
they're going to value it if he can get on the train defensively with Jimmy Butler and Draymond. I think it doesn't have to be out of this world. They don't need him to be all NBA defensively. But when you're playing with those 2 guys and you can be somewhat of
an impactful guy within that mix, and you can make their defense look, whoa.
That defense will be a lot. With his athleticism and his tools, just following the lead of those 2, that little unit they could potentially have with just those 3. I'm not even thinking about who the other 2 would be out on the floor. You can just Steph Curry or whoever. But just those 3, and what Draymond is able to do quarterback in the defense, Jimmy Butler's the same way, great communicator coming from the Tibbs
and
you
don't even have to guard
Bulls
the best
era.
player. Jimmy's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't guard. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have too much on your play because Jimmy will take the point of attack. Draymond's going to have the back line. You just being there to hover over everything else. Yeah. Everything else. Just trying to be one step ahead of whatever the offense is doing. And again, Jonathan Kuminga will be perfect in that role with his athleticism, his quickness, his size, and his length. If he's helped,
has all the tools to be an elite defender.
Yes,
he just has to put in effort.
He could be on the passing lane. He could get help side. Weak side blocks. He could be strong side. When Steph Curry is getting matched up on something, while some action is going over. Hey man, get your ass back there.
Role.
Like man, I hope he buys in and follow the leads of those guys. But yeah, Warriors 2-0 under the Jimmy Butler era, liking everything that they got going on over there. They're another one of those teams that's in that tough playoff hunt.
How high y'all think they can climb? Can they climb out of the play-in?
Yes.
They can get up to
We
6?
just talked about the Kings. Everything I said about the Kings applies to the Warriors.
Oh yeah, they literally have the same record.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely can.
Did y'all hear Jimmy say that like Draymond has been like super embraceful since he got there? I think that was cool.
Yeah, he said Draymond's like telling them where to be and like he's being understanding and he's helping them adjust. I think it would be foolish for Draymond not to do that. He's the voice of the team. He's the leader. That's something that he's supposed to do.
That's one of the best things about Draymond Green. Like, I just feel like so much of that gets overshadowed with the antics that he has.
Yeah.
But if you take away all of the antics, Draymond Green has always been a high IQ guy, an incredible leader who leads with his voice, but also leads by example on the defensive end. And then everything that he does offensively is so selfless to an extent because he also doesn't have the bag to be a selfish offensive player. But I think, if you take away all of the bullshit and the antics with Draymond Green, a lot of guys are going to have a lot of positive things to say about him. And I feel like that's why it's frustrating watching Draymond because it's like, man, you are a really good basketball player, but I don't think a lot of people understand the importance and what you mean because you make it hard for people to want to think about it because of all the bullshit. You punching the teammate, you cursing out Durant, ran him out of town. Every time something happens on the floor, you putting the team in jeopardy by getting a technical foul and leading to suspension and kicking people. You got all of these antics that just overshadow what you actually has brung to a dynasty and a franchise that's going to be forever celebrated.
I mean,
Andrew, go ahead.
I was about to say, in the right matchup, the Warriors could be a dangerous team with this new Jimmy addition.
Yes.
They move up high enough and they can go against that young Memphis, young Rockets.
My only concern.
They could really, I think they could upset one of them teams in the series.
My only concern is the interior, like the Lakers. When you have a Quentin Post, a Kevon Looney, and Trae Jackson-Davis, when you matching up with Grizzlies who though they might be a little young, they ain't that young no more, but Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, Jay Huff, that's a lot of size that you're dealing with. Jokic will win you 4 games by his damn self.
Yeah, but luckily for them, Draymond has shown you that he can hold down the paint at being 6'8". He's shown it throughout his career.
I'll be a little generous at 6'8".
Yeah, for sure.
I think about 6'6".
Whatever, he make it work.
Adam Silver, this just came out. Adam Silver says there could be a U.S. versus world format NBA All-Star game one day.
A U.S. No.
I would not be mad at that. So you would have Giannis, Jokic, Luka all on one. It's like the Olympics.
How deep is that team now?
What?
But, like, I feel like, is this the All-Star game?
Yeah.
They're going to have 15.
You don't think the world can come up with 15 bodies?
No, but I think the U.S. team, like, their 15 bodies would just be so much. Like, there's going to be a drop-off in talent on the world side.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it might be at the end of the bench, but I still think as long as you have Jokic, Giannis, Luka to start with, just to start Wemby, who cares about what the 12th guy is going to be? Yeah, Shea is Canadian. That's the lineup right there. You have Shea, Luka, Wemby, Giannis, and Jokic.
Now, what's the reserves looking like?
At that point, who gives a fuck?
Okay.
But we could go find some if you want us to.
No, because DeMontis will probably be on the reserve.
Sengun. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think of the guards that would be on the. Would Jamal Murray make it?
If you absolutely needed a Jamal Murray.
Dylan Brooks.
Where's Joel playing?
Probably with the World.
Yeah.
Think he'll play with the World?
He already said the next time he wanted to play, he'll be over there. But you would have also Pascal Siakam, Shea, you have Franz Wagner, Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah. If they needed the guards, you definitely could go get some, but they're going to have a lot of size and a lot of versatility all over the court, in my opinion. And there are some people that we probably ain't even thinking about off the top of our head. But, yeah, you do have the Jamal Murrays in the world. I don't think Josh Giddey is ever going to make an all-star game. Laurie Markkinen, they got a lot. Andrew Wiggins.
There's a lot of size.
RJ Barrett. Yeah, they have a lot of size. The scary part is the size. I think they'll figure out the guard play and everything else, but the size in itself, we naming 6'9" and up guys, man.
Well, the guard play probably, they have Luka and Shea.
Exactly.
How much guard play do you need?
And you also have Jokic. You have a point center. So, yeah, man, that team will – that would be a fun
and then the American team, depending on when it is, I guess I just got to go with what I got now, is probably going to be LeBron, Steph, KD,
Brunson,
and probably Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, AD, Cat, Dame,
maybe now Hallie's in
Devin
there.
Booker.
Hallie's probably gonna make it then.
I would put Devin Booker over his ass.
Well, yeah, D-Book.
Did we say Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards.
Because then where we gonna put Kyrie? Kyrie like a 12-man.
Does Kyrie
11-man?
want to play for U.S. or you want to play for Germany?
Oh.
No, it's up to him.
Might be a world guy. We can run through some of these last debuts real quick, not as big or anything as the other ones. DeAndre Hunter made his Cleveland Cavalier debut. They beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, who couldn't score a bucket in that first quarter. He went 3 of 7, only played 23 minutes. He did start.
He did.
And
That was one of those games where Anthony Edwards really just tried to do everything for the team.
12 points for DeAndre Hunter, 5 fouls. But it was good to see him out there, man. This is one of my favorite trades at the deadline. I think y'all said the same thing. All 3 of his shots were 3-point shots.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the line a little bit. I think obviously with more time, more reps, more familiarity, he'll look a lot better. But
it was interesting to see him be the point of attack defender. Haven't really seen him be that. Like he was guarding Anthony Edwards at the beginning of the game.
I like it because of what's behind him.
Yeah, no, I think this could probably unlock some. I don't think in Atlanta they have that defensive culture.
You know he used to be that. Like,
no, yeah, I know he used to be.
Before
that.
the injuries, he used to be like one of my favorite perimeter defenders.
No, yeah, that's why I'm saying it's fun to see him being that now because I think Cleveland can re-unlock that for him. Because like in Atlanta, it was sort of becoming a defensive culture, but it also
he
wasn't
became
Cleveland.
Offensive.
Yeah, he became offensive.
Yeah,
but
this is like a couple years ago.
I think Cleveland being a defensive-minded team and having Evan Mobley and Jared Allen behind you, it just gives you so much effort. I mean, so much motivation to go out there and play, especially when you're talking about seeing what Donovan and Darius Garland are doing. Like, they literally go out there and they play their ass off on the defensive side of the ball. So,
and if Hunter can become that, it'll pay off in the long run because he fits so much better offensively that you won't feel the need to overly play Isaac Okoro.
Yes. And I think that they just have such a big front court now. Like, with DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. Like, that's a big, versatile front court because most teams don't have 2 bigs that are very good in space as well. Like, both of those bigs can hold their own in space and have good feet to where they know how to be able to hold their own on a switch or something like that. So you just have a very versatile 5 defensive lineup that can actually do a lot for you.
I definitely agree. How y'all feel about? Did y'all see Karis LeVert? First couple of games, the Hawks. First one was cool. The last game, he got off. What was that last night? The Hawks played against. Who did the Hawks play?
The Hawks played the Magic?
Yep, and they beat him by 6. And
Yes,
he
he
went
did.
6 of 11 from the field and had a really, really, really good game.
Mm-hmm.
I love Karis LeVert is just a guy that he's going to pop up when his number is called.
I feel
man.
bad for him. in a way,
It's
though.
funny, too, because
Yeah.
George Niang popped up. I think the first game, he had like 15, 16 points. So it's just like he one of them players too that no matter where he go, he gonna find a way to put that
For
ball in
sure.
the cup and find some minutes.
Yeah, Karis LeVert, second game, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. That first game, he had 9 points, 5 fouls. What's up with these guys being overly hacky in their first game? He had 5 fouls. Hunter had 5 fouls. A lot of guys overly hacking. But, yeah, that was a much better performance. And they've quietly won 2 in a row. 3 in a row. Atlanta. No. Let me dial back. They won 2 in a row. They beat Washington, and then they just beat Orlando. Orlando is kind of struggling now,
I was
y'all.
just about to ask y'all, is it time to start panicking for Orlando?
I don't think you can panic because their drop off makes some sense. Obviously, the guys came back, and you want to see them get right back where they started.
Yeah.
But they have to overcome so many of the injuries. They're trying to really snap right into it. It
And
is
when-
kind of
yeah.
crazy that you're playing a little worse now that the guys back because they had a little stretch where both of the guys was out and they
Yeah.
was maintaining.
Well,
But then Paulo came.
yesterday it was just literally the 2 guys. Nobody else really was like coming to show up.
Yeah, but then you also have had games where Paulo hasn't shown up, where he was being really bad.
The one thing I will say is the difference out east and out west is the gap of games. So, like, when you look out west, how we said Sacramento is just a half a game behind the Mavericks. Golden State is just a half a game behind the Mavericks. Phoenix at 11 is a game behind the Mavericks at 8. And then you start to get a little lead when you get to the 5th seed in Houston. They're like, a decent amount away from the play-in teams. When you look at our East, there's some comfort. So the Bulls are 3 games behind the Magic at number 9. So, like, the Magic, I think, are going to be straight. I think they're going to be solid. They're also going to be a team that, even if they stay in this realm, if they stay in a play-in, I would take them in a play-in game against the Bulls. Like,
yeah, against the Bulls
Yeah.
for sure. Would you take them in a play-in game against the Heat or the Atlanta or Detroit, though?
yes and no.
It depends.
Yeah, it just depends.
I guess Miami, no.
It's really a toss-up.
They could
'Cause, I mean,
really
like,
go in there and like, manhandle the Hawks.
Yes.
Like, you don't know what version of the Hawks you're going to get. And I guess I could say the same thing to the Magic. But the Magic, again, compared to a lot of these teams, they do have the excuse that they've missed these guys for a substantial amount of time. They missed Franz. They missed Paolo. Now they're missing Suggs, who is day-to-day from his quad injury. Mo Wagner is out for the rest of the year. They've had legitimate, substantial injuries.
Mm-hmm.
They could definitely get back on track after a nice all-star break. Have the full team back. Jalen Suggs should be playing by then. And then you kind of reset, regroup, and go on a nice little second-half run. They could continue to struggle. They could just maintain. I don't know. But, yeah, like, as much as I like Trae Young and I like the Hawks, they won't have Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
They've kind of made some trades. I don't really know exactly what their direction is or what they're trying to do. But, yeah, the only team that you're saying, the Detroit Pistons, they going to play with anybody on any given night.
Yep.
I anticipate the Miami Heat having a nice second half of the season, but I still think Orlando. I take that back. I don't know. That's a hard question, Darrick. Mike, what you think, man? That's tough.
I think only 2 teams I would pick is I think I would pick Miami, and out of these 4 or 5, I think Miami and Orlando get in there probably as the 7th and 8th seed if it all panned out perfectly.
I don't think
Miami
y'all
crept
wrong.
up to 6.
Something about that Trae Young in a play-in game
It's
just
something
sounds
about
like
them, bro.
he could just snap
It's
off.
something about him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Something about Trae
you
Young in
never
a
know.
play-in.
That's why I say
play-in
yes
game.
and no. It just depends. Like, the Orlando Magic could definitely be that team from early in the season, in the second half. But you give Trae Young and that Hawks team a win-or-go-home game, and again, they got guys that are like that now, where Trae Young could have a 30-point double-double. Karis LeVert is a guy that can just play in game. He got 34 points.
Yeah.
One game he might have 9. But that play-in game to get in there, he might have 34 points and then average 7
They got
points.
double low. He just got 15 and 15.
They just are
killing.
like that, man. They are just. That's why I don't understand why people don't be giving Trae Young the love he got, because I feel like he's the engine and all of that. But yeah, it's gonna be a dogfight. But I do think Miami is gonna be, out of this bunch, my money is on them to be the best, one of the better second half teams as far as just playing on.
It would be crazy to see if Orlando became that 8th seed again. They played the Cavs again, and they just gave them another tough battle.
The Cavs are a better
but
team.
The Cavs
though.
are a better team than they were last year. But
both teams did get better though. But boy.
I would like to see that again.
What you think? How far you think that series go?
5.
Yeah, but it's a close 5. It's like close games.
The Lakers 5. We won every third quarter of the series.
I don't know.
If you look at the total points, we only lost by 6.
Yeah. One of those. Kyle Kuzma. Darrick, you're a Bucks fan. How are you liking the Kyle Kuzma?
The first game, he had a good first half, then disappeared in the second half. The game last night, I thought he did a good job of being efficient and scoring when he got chances. Dame was pretty much running the show. So we haven't really seen Kuzma playing with Giannis yet. So he's gonna have 2 adjustment periods. He's gonna adjust now to being traded, adjusting to playing with the team. And then now, when Giannis comes back, he's going to have a whole nother adjustment period of learning how to play with Giannis and Dame. So right now, it's been okay. I think he's doing okay. So I'm not really judging it now until we see the team at full effect.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier, honestly, when Giannis comes, just because he could just score a lot more naturally instead of having to create. He's really good at scoring off the ball, whether it be catch and shoot, cuts, and stuff like that. And we know Dame's going to have the attention, but Giannis is going to definitely have attention on him. He draws almost like 5 eyes every time he's turned into the basket. So I think it's going to be easier when he gets there. I think that he's got to kind of calm down on some of those crazy shots. He had one layup that just looked like he was back in Washington. I'm like, We want to stay away from that
You're
type
a new
of stuff.
team, buddy. You're a new team. And
But
then
I
the
think he's
last
gonna
one
be
I got
good.
up here is Andrew Wiggins. Him, Davion Mitchell played last night.
They didn't look too great.
I don't think they had,
The
they,
Heat-
they ain't
the
had
Heat
Tyler
also
Hero.
didn't- Yeah, they didn't have Tyler. The Heat just didn't even score 90 points, so
Yeah.
it was kind of a bad debut, unfortunately. But I envision that team with Tyler Hero, and that team's gonna be a lot better once everybody get their stuff together post All-Star break.
I couldn't agree more.
I think that team could be very dangerous. They could be really good.
We also got Kyrie Irving is going to replace Anthony Davis in the All-Star game, and Trae Young is going to replace Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
I'm happy Kyrie got in.
Yeah.
I'm happy
And
Trae
then
Young got
It's
it.
Trae
still
Young
crazy
got in, too.
Sabonis ain't an All-Star, even with an injury.
That is crazy. That I thought for sure. I was like, okay, Sabonis.
Big man for big man.
Yeah, I thought Sabonis was definitely about to get in there, but they gave it to her to guard.
Never gonna complain about Kyrie being in the All-Star
No.
game. One of
But
my favorites.
I honestly
but
understand it from the NBA perspective. We want the viewership. We want.
they gonna get the viewership regard. We
They
gotta
are,
overthink this
no,
shit.
but they are. But Kyrie Irving is the more
sure.
all-star game type of player who's going to bring
Absolutely.
the oohs and ahs,
No,
the
absolutely.
highlights, and
But they already got a roster full of those guys. Again, I'm not arguing against Kyrie being an All-Star, but like I'll be tired of hearing those explanations for everything. When the All-Star game is gonna be the All-Star game. LeBron is in it.
yeah,
Okay. Steph Curry's in it.
he is.
Giannis in it.
No,
I'm saying he got elected though.
yes, he
Jokic.
is. Yeah,
So they gonna be all right.
has Jokic ever tried in all? Jokic don't even really be trying. I would love to see Jokic go out there and just get All-Star Game MVP just for shits and giggles. It would just look funny.
What would that look like for you?
Probably just one of those like 20-point triple doubles. Just
But his crazy thing is, like, he gonna have to shoot jump. Ain't nobody bumping with Jokic in the damn All-Star game.
no, yeah.
Ain't nobody doing that.
20-point triple-double would be crazy.
Yeah.
Who was that got the triple-double?
Is that Russ?
I think Russ got one in the All-Star game.
That's some insane work. That is some insane work. Speaking of Jokic, the Nuggets are on a quiet 7-game win streak.
They've been one
Last
of the
5, they
quietest-
won by double digits.
They've been one of the quietest, hottest teams in the league. It's kind of crazy to say that when you're talking about them being a third seed, but they've been out west just taking care of business so quietly. And I think, I don't know how, but
They was a trade deadline
why they-
loser for you.
why they team always be thriving with success, but it's always deemed quiet. Like they just be over there just doing what they supposed to do, taking care of business. They also would just be blowing teams out too.
I mean, I haven't checked in a minute, but they had like one of the top offenses. And like
Yeah.
the game we went to, you can still see why. Like they did a really good job of just getting easy looks, easy paints. I swear, a majority of the buckets were just layups at the rim because they had so many people that could just make the right pass. And they had a really fluid offense. I think defensively is where it get a little questionable, but offense, they could probably put up 120 points every night.
Shout out to Devon. He said KD did the last triple-double in 2017. Wade did it in 2012. Bron did it in 2011, and Jordan did it in 1997. So I guess Russ did not do the All-Star game triple-double.
Damn, only
So
time
y'all
he
up
ain't-
your
he
line.
get his triple double.
It definitely seems like Russ would have
Well, he
done it.
definitely got the All-Star MVP.
Let's do that. Let's do some All-Star game predictions. This is the last pod before the All-Star weekend, which is coming so fast. Like, my goodness, I still got to pack. I got to get a haircut. KB asked you to bring home his iPad.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
it has to be for the. I bet it's
Yeah.
for that flight. I bet it's for that flight.
but yeah, I was thinking about how I gotta go get a haircut. I'm like, I'm hoping that snow tomorrow is just not in that time frame because I don't know when it's supposed to come, but I know it's coming. So I just hope it's just not when I'm driving up north. 'Cause I would just hate to be in the snow.
I also hope the snow is wrong.
It's a lot of times they be overhyping the snow.
It says 6 to 8. Give us 2, and I will not complain at all.
I was not supposed to start snowing until like 9 a.m.
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
What time is your flight? I mean, what time is your haircut?
9 a.m.
Okay, so
I mean,
when
you
you
still getting
leave,
it as it's starting, though.
when
versus
you leave,
like
you
it's
gonna
all the way
have,
though.
you know, to wipe off your car.
Yeah,
But that's okay. Yeah, like my biggest thing is always when we're traveling, let the snow happen. So when we wake up to catch Ubers or get dropped off to the airport, the streets is clear.
yeah.
That's all. I don't want it to be in the most high snowing pace of the day to be when my Uber is trying to get me to the airport.
Well, they couldn't even get into Mike parking lot.
Well, that was insane. That was like a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Flights
was
it's actually crazy. I didn't know. Flights still go out during the snow. Like they don't stop. It's usually just lightning is what usually stops flights from going out.
Mm-hmm.
The snow would just kind of just slow it down a little bit. Your flight just gonna be a little delayed.
Yeah, I ain't really tripping on like the flight because we going from the snow to San Francisco. I always be tripping on the flight when we're coming into the snow.
Oh yeah.
Because then it make everything get delayed. Now your plane got to stay in the air for 15 minutes longer, or got to stay on the tarmac or whatever for 35 minutes. Because
I think one of the coolest things is landing while it's snowing because you're going through the clouds and you just hear all the snow and ice just hitting the window. And I'd be like, this is just so crazy that we are literally
in the clouds.
We're in the clouds where all the snow and stuff is made. And we're just looking. I could just see it all just hitting the window.
When I be in the plane, I be feeling like, and I'm looking at the clouds. To me, it seems like the clouds ain't as high as I think they are from when I'm standing on the ground. If that makes sense. And sometimes, especially over the water, the clouds be hanging real low.
Yes,
like when we're doing that little turnaround or whatever to get back into the.
Oh
the
yeah,
terminal.
we always had to fly over Lake Michigan and come back. We'd be like, dang, we just.
it's the same thing in
Let's
San
swoop past the
Francisco. We
airport.
always got to get close to that water.
Got to do that big turn.
Yeah, it's just crazy that they have to go that far to make the turn. Because just because we know the landscape, they drove past O'Hare and went around.
Shout out to them though.
Yeah, for sure.
Any more basketball talk? We get into Unplugged. What we got?
Oh, we can get into Unplugged.
What we gonna talk about today?
I wrote something down. I don't know how intrigued D-Mills on this, but it's a real thing. Is 2K done with 2K? Nobody plays that shit in the chat no more. It's like a couple group of guys that really try to get down on it. But yeah, everybody they've been saying 2K dead. And you know me, I've been grinding hella hard. I'm about to be almost vet 2, and that's when you get those extra cap breakers or whatever. And now I'm finna hit that. They talking about no more 2K.
When the last time you played 2K?
I played rec. I played rec yesterday. I still got to get to vet 2, so I've been on that grind. But
I thought you've been playing Marvels.
Nah, honestly, I play every once in a while, every couple of days.
I feel like Marvels for me has been a more fun team oriented game.
It definitely is. But like I said, I've been grinding for that vet 2.
Yeah.
And for me to get to how far I am, it just would have been a waste of time. So I feel like I at least got to get that. And after that, I'll probably be on Rivals. I've been playing Fortnite. I've been playing just scary type games too late at night. So it's been a little different from 2K.
To answer your question, no, I don't think 2K is dead. I think it's getting to that down point, but I think at any point, me or you could get it jumping.
Mm-hmm.
If we were just the people who play gonna play. If me and you were trying to play and we needed 3, I don't think it'll be nothing to get 3. It's nothing to get Tiger Woods, Bugs, and momentum.
We gotta recreate our Pro-Am team because I don't think the tournaments they've been doing what they do. So I feel like Pro-Am will be decent for us. Get a solid 5. Plus,
the tournaments ain't gonna hit no more until guys just start understanding that you got to be good at the game.
That's a very true thing. It can't be just let me copy your build and I'm gonna play like you.
Your build, man.
Let me copy your build. They be copying builds.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm talking about literally copy pasting the same build, same height, same weight.
What's your 3 on? What's your handle on?
What's your wingspan on?
Oh,
what in and out crossover you got?
damn.
Wait,
What behind the back?
didn't he
you got?
copy somebody Giannis build?
Right.
Oh, well, that was just some viral TikTok stuff. I was just
But
like,
you
oh,
still copying somebody
Yeah.
build.
I did. That was just a one-time thing. I just thought it would be fun to do it.
But think about this: you get a new 2K, you gotta wait to make your player for your homie to make. Your homie got to make his player first, so you can make your player.
What's the most exciting thing y'all anticipating for All-Star? Whether it's the game, an event, just being out in San Francisco.
I mean, I wanted to do the IRL stream. I thought that was going to be really fun and exciting. I know KB's sick, so I haven't texted him and asked him about to bring the stuff. So I'm going to probably text him later and say, can you just make sure you bring it? So I ain't want to bother him while he was sick. But yeah, that was something I was really excited to do. I also want to go to In-N-Out. I like In-N-Out now. I just don't like the fries.
Fries are kind of mid.
But I've learned how to get the burger the right way.
How's that?
I like to get the whole grilled onion on it, and then I like to get the green chili peppers. Those are really good.
I never put chili peppers on my burger.
Nah, those green chilies at In-N-Out, they a hit, bro. And they not too spicy, so it's just it's right amount of heat.
You doing any food reviews?
I didn't look at the landscape, but I wouldn't be against it.
I'm super happy for the weather change.
Me too.
Bro, walking to the studio today, I'm like, damn. Like, let me do my little fast walk, man. It's so
and it's
cold.
crazy because it's not even that cold. It's only 26. So like,
But that's what the weather say, but it always has what it
wind
feels
chill,
like.
the real feel. Let's see what the real feel
And I
is.
think San Fran's supposed to be like 60s. I think we said it might be like raining or something like that, but
the real feel is 14. Damn. So yeah, it is kind of
it's cold as hell.
Yeah, it is. Let's see, what's the weather in San Francisco? I'm about to look that up. Cause like I do love going to Cali around this time of year because it's like a weird little break, and it's just like,
It ain't scorching hot, but it ain't cold.
It feel like fall or like springish.
They think it's cold.
They do. It's 53, but it's supposed to rain every day we there. A lot of rain too. Like it's not even like it literally says 85%, 100%, and then 80%. So
Damn.
That's
well,
gonna
only
suck.
2 of the days, Thursday and Friday.
Oh, okay.
So Saturday release ain't no rain, right?
That's the night we go out too.
We'll get drenched for 2 days and then we'll be
I was gonna
good.
say we was gonna go to the club. They was gonna be wet now.
Bring an umbrella.
Yeah, bring your umbrella.
But yeah, the weather was supposed to be in the mid 50s the whole time.
I am so excited for the live show. It's something about the live show, man.
I feel like the last show, just because it sold out so fast. Like, it literally sold out so
Every
fast.
live show we've had, though, has been lit.
It has.
I've been talking to a lot of people. They said they were coming too.
Who? Like who?
Don't put me on the spot to remember all their names, but I'd say a good at least like 4 or 5 people that went into my stream were like, yeah, I'm
I
gonna be
thought
there.
you
Or
meant
like
like in
people
the
that's
Discord.
normally in my stream.
Okay.
Mm.
And you don't remember one?
No.
Okay.
It'd be a lot of people.
It's going to be good to put faces to names, too.
Yes.
Some of the people that be in your stream, you might not ever see their face.
Yeah.
But now you actually get to know who you're talking to.
I just love the energy of the crowd. Like when you there and you got the people in front of you, you could have some friendly banter. Somebody may wear a jersey or say something loud in the crowd and you get your attention and you get to, that's what I'll be about. I'll be about the vibe, the experience, the feel, the liveliness. It's one thing to come up here and just do a show, but when you got people in the audience and they giving off a certain energy, you can reciprocate and you know, just go off the,
They already know the vibe of the show, so they kind of come with the same.
I love
Same
going off the
vibe.
grid too. It ain't nothing wrong with having a format, doing a run of the show, and talking about all of the segments and topics. But I also love when a fan do something or wear a jersey or spark a conversation that wasn't planned, and it's just genuinely something we could just.
Yeah, I think the fans also do a good job of, like, when we do the question thing, a lot of them come up there with good questions.
Yes.
So,
Which was funny because the first couple years we was doing this, we would ask them questions on Twitter,
and
and they would always
questions.
be bad questions.
And it'd always be about their favorite team.
Always about their favorite thing. We finally gotten to the point where we've allowed people to understand when you ask us a question, it does not have to be basketball related. And if it is, please don't ask us what we think about the Lakers or what we think about the
Utah
Cavs.
Jazz.
Yeah, what you think about the Jazz?
I'm ready to do another meet and greet too. Those again, the meet and greets be cool because we just putting pictures or we're putting faces to all these names, and then they also have like only a few minutes or like 30 minutes to 60 or 30 seconds to 60 seconds to kind of like say what they want to say to us, and it's like it's always cool because they always got words of like love and stuff like that, and it just kind of makes you remember like these are real people that watch our show and they came to see us and everything like that. And so it just reminds you to put on a show for these guys.
Like the dude in Vegas, one dude in Vegas came there. He brought us all $40 Uber Eats cards.
That was crazy.
Was love.
Yeah.
I actually just recently used mine.
Really?
Yeah.
I think,
Oh, you forget? You must have forgot you had it.
Yeah. I had forgot I had it, and I just decided, hey, it's a good time to use it. I don't feel like leaving the house.
I left mine there.
What?
you did.
In
I
the
think
hotel? Or like at the venue?
I gave it to somebody to hold, and
Oh, so they probably used your shit.
I think
as long as somebody used it.
I think I gave mine away on stream
Oh,
to like one of my mods.
What a nice guy.
you a nice guy, man.
I'm trying to see, Darrick, how far In and Out is going to be from our hotel.
Oh,
Why do they?
because I remember when we went to In-N-Out last time we was there. It was one.
I don't think our hotel is over there.
Okay.
I don't remember the In-N-Out in Cali. I
That's
remember
what-
the In-N-Out in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I don't think we went when we was in LA. I think we only went when we was in San
Francisco.
Yeah,
We went in Vegas though.
Yeah, we went in Vegas though.
I remember Vegas for sure.
That's what he's saying. He not saying he remember the one in LA.
Oh.
He said he remember the one
You don't
in
remember
Vegas.
going to the one in San Fran? Because I think that was when we was walking and smoking.
Yep.
I think I do.
We was walking, y'all smoked, and we went straight down that back.
Yep.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
But yeah, it's probably a few in San Francisco, so it shouldn't be that far from the hotel. Honestly, I don't care. It's just an Uber ride. I'd go even.
Trust me. I know.
He said it's just
I know
Uber
you
ride.
gonna do what to do. I know. Trust me, my boy.
AP D Mills, he came to the meeting late yesterday. He was like, "Where you at, D Mills?" He said, "Man, I was eating breakfast. I
Yeah,
got
you
lost."
crazy,
I
bro.
was making the daughter lunch. And I think I literally coincidentally got up at 1 o'clock and started doing it. Because that's when she asked me she said, eat. And I was like,
I thought you said when you got in the
It
meeting.
sound like you was you
Yeah,
sound like you
like
was
you-
damn
you
near out to eat.
You didn't say I was making my daughter lunch. You said sorry.
I was making lunch. And I just didn't stay for my daughter. And like when she said eat, my mind just went to that and I just
That
completely
sounded like
forgot.
some big bag stuff. He said, "I was just eating and I lost track of time."
That's exactly how it sounded in the meeting. That's exactly how it sounded. They got something called bodega by
Bodega? Is that a restaurant?
Vietnamese cuisine.
Oh. I think the Asian culture of food is so good.
What's
So
your
I actually
favorite?
would-
They got crispy, crunchy chicken.
I love Korean fried chicken.
Yeah, it is good.
Korean fried chicken is really good.
Which is what, like, is that banchan?
Yeah, banchan. Have you had banchan?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should try banchan. I think that's a great introduction to Korean fried chicken.
I think I got them not too long ago. I tried them out.
Banchan?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's literally
Right by
you.
him.
Yeah. I don't think I don't remember them being good though. Like I ordered it takeout to bring home and it wasn't. all
Oh,
that.
I've ordered takeout too and it wasn't good, but I've ordered it there and it was solid.
It was a lot better?
So like, I don't,
Maybe
maybe
it's
they
not
don't
a
deliver.
travel.
Yeah, maybe they don't
But
deliver. that
if I
good.
remember right, they give you a lot of food, don't they?
No, yeah, they give you a decent.
So
amount.
it's chicken and what else?
Probably like ramen.
I
Like,
think it is
love
like
ramen.
that because like most of the chicken, it's like you can get like a sauce with it or whatever,
Yeah,
and then I think you can get like rice. Basically, have like a little bowl or whatever.
or like any soups. The soups are usually.
I'll rock
good.
with. I'll get some probably rice for a side.
The rice is always good.
You know what I bought yesterday from the store? Harold's mild sauce.
Really?
They sell it at the store
What
now?
store was
But
that?
it was in a bottle. I got it from Pete's.
Oh
okay.
wow!
Bro, my girl keeps
I've
talking about
seen
going
the
there.
Uncle Remus one. I have not seen Harold.
I have not seen Uncle Remus one.
Really?
I've
I've
only
seen-
seen Uncle Remus one at Uncle Remus.
Oh, I've seen it. I don't remember where, but I've like seen it. Like, oh, it's Uncle Remus. But I have not seen Harold's nowhere.
They got a Harold's hot sauce
Did
and
it
a mild
taste like-
sauce. I haven't used it yet. I just bought it
Oh.
yesterday.
I definitely would have went home, opened it, and just tasted it just to see.
Big ass. I want to eat it with some chicken. He said I would have went home and just stuck my finger in there and just.
I gotta see if it tastes anything like the original.
We gonna see when I get the food that I want to eat with.
Are you finna deep fry some chicken? Like you finna get some chicken wings?
I don't know. It was just something that I was scrolling by. I saw it and I said, whenever I have some chicken or I have fries or some shit
Yeah.
to eat with this, I'm gonna use it. Or
I just
maybe I
don't-
get some chicken from Popeyes or who
I don't
knows?
like. I like fried chicken, but I don't like frying chicken myself.
I don't
just
either.
Shit is a lot.
It just
It's
gets so
it's
messy.
so fucking much, bro.
It's the flour just get everywhere.
yes,
no matter how
bro.
much you try to control it,
It's everywhere.
it just gets everywhere, and
Mhm.
it's so crazy because like you can literally tell you I'm gonna control, and you just can't control it. Flour is just messy.
yeah, it is messy.
And then you get done, you're like, damn, I really gotta clean all.
But
this
you know, I'm gonna start doing. My mom, I've seen people do brown paper bags
shit.
where you put the flour in there. So when you
or the
you should-
Ziploc
you
bag.
put the chip, yeah, and you zip it and you shake it and it won't make a mess. My mom also has like this big plastic container,
Yeah,
and she put all her the flour, baking powder, and the seasoning all in there. And when she put the chicken in there, she just shake it, so it ain't that much of a mess. But I still find myself making a mess.
Yeah.
because I've made chicken tenders,
That's what I just made
And-
recently.
and I was just like, I've made them a few times. After that last time, I was just like, this is just too much.
You got grease popping
Yeah.
everywhere. You got flour all over the counter. You got the chicken in itself. It's just
It's a lot. I used to. My thing used to be I used to get like a pack of like chicken wings or whatever from the store, and then obviously I would season them, do them all right, and then I put them in the air fryer for like 20, 25 minutes, and then like flip them after a little bit.
okay.
Those used to be the best wings.
11 minutes from the hotel.
In and out.
For the in and out.
That's what Devon just sent.
But I used to make these wings in the air fryer, and they used to come out so
Wait,
perfect.
bro.
That's the one.
This is the one.
Oh.
Our hotel is by this shit.
I don't know what.
Wow. Yeah, that's the In and Out we went to.
Mm.
So our hotel is by that one. Wow.
I'm gonna see if I remember it.
Yeah, when you click on it and see the picture, you'll remember it.
You hitting the dispensary again, Mike?
I have to. You know they. I got some connects out in San Fran.
You do?
No.
You had some in Miami.
I did. Well, I might have a connect out in San Fran. You never know.
You didn't even know you had one in Miami, probably.
No. Matter of fact, though, he always hits me up though.
That's my dog.
That was Brando.
That's my dog. Brando came through with that pack. I mean, he had it in the show.
I feel bad though too, because then he said he had a flat tire or something, like his tire pop when he was on his way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
He still made it though.
He still made it. He had that Rich Vision hoodie on too. Shout out to my boy Brando.
Shout out Brando, man, a real one.
How much he give you? Was it a lot?
Nah.
It
I
wasn't
mean,
a
it
little.
was obviously whatever
amount.
amount he gave me would have been like a
For
good
sure.
amount, but nah, it wasn't no crazy amount. Like, he didn't give me no half or nothing
Because
like
I was
that.
say he would set you up for failure. You had a flight the next day.
He trying to
I
give me
literally
rent.
did that. When we was in Vegas, y'all had left, but me and Angie went to the dispensary. Actually, I think y'all was still there. But, like, they gave us a free eighth, and neither one of us know how to roll. So, like, and we ain't want to buy a piece either.
You smoke and don't know how to roll?
Yeah, we just usually buy pre-rolls.
I thought you knew how to roll.
No, I'm very bad at rolling. Like, to where I'm going to probably break it.
Yo, years
How
ago.
you gonna break heavy?
Years
I'm
ago at
too-
KB House, they said you was in there rolling up.
No, I've never been the roll-up type.
Oh, Kyrie
Oh.
must have been lying.
But we had an eighth, and we had to, I think we just left it.
Y'all just ate it.
No, I think we just threw it away. But yeah, we ended up just not being able
It
to
ain't
use
rocket science. I mean, just because it's you and Angie, I think rolling up only matter if you finna really have a session with other people. But if it's just you and your girl, as long as that mug can smoke, then
Nah,
that's a fact.
we tried, and it really wasn't smoking.
Oh, so you actually tried?
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen that video.
Me too. Man, I wish I could have seen that.
It wasn't very successful.
How
Rolling
much-
is hard.
How much do you and Andy like smoke on a
Probably like
month
once or twice
basis?
a month.
once or twice a month?
We used to smoke more regularly, but
Now that he got the baby, it's probably
yeah, so it's like we don't really smoke that often.
Who
We
smoked?
never really smoked a lot, but it was just like a little bit more than like once or twice a month.
Who smoked more between the two?
We usually smoke at the same time, so.
No.
Oh, you talking about like in general, like before?
Like who smoked more?
Probably
Who's
her.
more of a smoker?
Before it was probably her. She probably would smoke more often than me.
Same thing when you and Elena. She smoke, or you smoke more than Elena. Smoke like a chimney. You smoke more than once or twice a month. You probably smoke once or twice a day.
Something like that.
Yeah. Is it tough being a smoker in the winter, or do you just be like,
Nah, I don't care.
yeah?
See, that's in the wintertime, it definitely go down. I'm not that desperate to stand outside when it's cold as hell.
Well, I mean, he got a balcony,
I have a patio.
right?
Elena would be like, nah, it's too cold. I just stay in the house. I mean, like, I don't care.
Right.
I'll put on my little, like, hoodie or whatever.
Do y'all prefer something to smoke out of, or do it not matter? Would you rather smoke out of a joint?
I'd rather smoke
a
a
bong?
pre-roll or a joint.
I use my, like, a bong or, like,
Summertime,
glass.
I would definitely bring the bong out or something, just because it's more comfortable outside and you could just sit down and enjoy it. Versus like in the wintertime, it's not enjoyable smoking out of a bong.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, I'm definitely starting up my own little weed business. I need some people to test it.
Hey, owning a dispensary seems so decent.
We're gonna take baby steps. Just starting with my first strand. It's called Nico.
Nico? Oh.
Making
Nico.
do stupid shit.
Mess around, trade your mama away after you smoke that shit.
Who won't Luka? Pelinka, you want Luka? Shit, I'll take Anthony Davis. No, you keep your 30-31. 20-31 pick. Fuck, I need that pick for, boy. Yeah.
We just got to keep coming up with names. This that Giannis. Smoke this shit, you run through a brick wall. Bro,
This that Dre. You hit this, make you want to kick somebody in their nuts. Oh, man. Hell no. This that DS-17. Shit make you compare the trade deadline to slavery.
You know John Morant got to pay. He got to have a pay.
Make you want to pull your gun out. Yeah, we could go all day. Oh, man, yeah, this the men. Hit this. Think I got a twin brother to build.
Bro, I seen something on Twitter. They had this like, ain't no way the plug got this, and he had this little pack, and it came with them big ass booger.
Yes, it came in that gold thing. They had the 2 earrings.
Yeah.
Yes, I seen it.
They get too creative, bro.
Before we get out, I'm gonna talk about my last strain though. This for you, Mike. It's that D Mills. Hit this, make you want to eat everything. Everything in sight.
But you gotta spell it DMEALS.
D Mills. Are we all on the same flight going there?
No,
He leaves at like 11. We leave at like 8 in the morning.
Okay. So what time do you get there? Because you know the time difference.
like 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna be there at like 11.
Right. Yeah, hopefully we are able to
I hope they give us that early check-in, bro. No part of me.
What you on that first day? You just vibing, chilling?
Yeah.
I might do a little shopping there since it's Thursday.
I mean, yeah, we out, definitely. I'll definitely get the IRL stream popping.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they'll let you bring that into the stores I want to go to, though. Like the Dior's, the LV, they're going to probably be like, no recording.
I'm going to tell them, fuck off.
Oh. Telling you what cast or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them this promotion. I got 5,000 people here. They might see something they like.
What if he said, that's it?
He said, what's your live, bro?
Yeah, what's your live? D Mills.
Talking about 5,000
He gonna
people.
say, oh, hell no. You ain't even got 5,000 followers. Austin, come on, man. Austin got to turn off the episode. He ain't even in the room.
You know he be having a boo-boo.
He be having the runs. That's another episode of Numbers on the Board. We appreciate y'all. We'll have a lot of stories after All-Star Weekend. I'm pretty
Catch us on Hoop Streams this Friday.
Yes. I'm almost sure somebody gonna leave that club talking about she was feeling me.
Hope Streams Friday. It's on NBA on ESPN, their YouTube channel.
Yeah, come see us kick it with Drewski.
Castanat, maybe. Baron Davis. You know, a lot of names that might come through with us.
And many more.
Yeah.
Peace.